Good Monday morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hi everybody. Stacy here from Creatively Stacy, and needing a little art therapy this morning, and thought I would bring you guys along as I often do. I've had a few different ideas as to what to paint this morning, but I think I'm going to keep it kind of simple and just do something whimsical and fun. And I hope you will join in. And if you do paint along, or if you paint it at another time, as always, please send it to me in the comments. Post it down below, send it in a messenger. I love to see what you guys do when you recreate these. I'm going to be using all the colors and all the brushes and all the things today. I'm feeling really creative. So as you pop on, please say hello. Let me know you're here. I'll try to catch comments if I can. And if you catch this on replay, of course, please type replay so I know that you were here. I do appreciate that. And just a reminder, I do have a paint party coming up December 28th, live online. It would be a great Christmas gift, you guys. If you want to do it as a Christmas gift, private message me, and I will work out the details with you on how to accomplish that task. Very simple, actually, but it would be awesome. If you're out shopping, at Walmart or craft stores or Amazon, whatever, you can pick up the supplies you need pretty inexpensively. And wouldn't it be cool to give the gift of a paint class with it? And if they can't make it live on that day, they can catch it on replay anytime. So there really is a lot of flexibility in that. So be a great gift for yourself as well, or something to do with the kiddos over break. If you're going to do it with the kids, I would really recommend just getting a book of that mixed media paper, and they can paint a million things. So that's a great gift too, for you and them. You can set them down, let them paint for a little bit, and you can sip coffee and read a magazine, right? Anyways, without further ado, if you want more information on that, message me, or it is in the shop tab on my page. So I really appreciate it if you guys are able to join live, or if you want to catch it on replay, whatever works best for you. So having said that, let's get to painting. It's very snowy and cold here, so my painting is kind of reflecting that today. I did start, just did a blue and white wash, and then I started playing with some snow swirls, and I decided to stop there and bring you along. I did a little sketching, which as we paint, that'll play out. So taking some blue and white and getting a little bit on my brush, so we're like, where are you? There we are. Like a half and half. And I'm just going to wherever the paint goes, spreading it out. I hear dogs. I might have to let the dogs in here in a second. You guys will see. I don't know what they didn't want to come in earlier, but here we are. So just letting my paintbrush swirl around the page just to give it that whimsical, lighthearted background. You hear thumping, that's Miss Nellie. She's in the hallway trying to get comfortable, apparently. So really just going with the flow, enjoying the movement of the brush, and not really worrying about where it ends up. Right? You see yellow in here, that is the chalk from my doodles. I doodle as I go. Any doodlers out there? Try not to get it too terribly thick, because it'll take forever to dry, right? You have too much blue, add some white. You have too much white, add some blue. Whatever you like. Just like I said, enjoying the art therapy process and not thinking about it too hard. This is going to be a background. A lot of it's going to fade away. So just kind of getting the feel of the movement of the brush. All right. So having done that, I think what we'll do next is wash our brush off and dry it on a paper towel. And maybe we will, I had a little, yeah, just use the end of this brush. Dab it in the white. This is the relaxing part of things, you guys, just laying down a nice background and enjoying the process. If you're not a dot person, of course you can skip this part, but sometimes when I'm doing my whimsical paintings, I like to have just a little something to go with them. Just kind of the whimsy of it. You can lose yourself in these dots, you guys. You could do these for hours. You really, really could. I'm not going to make you sit through hours and hours of dots. I may go back afterwards, as I often do, and excuse me, and do some more. But this just gives you the idea. Like I said, on these, you guys, I'm just giving you ideas. I'm not doing the full deal. So I promise if you come to the live paint party, though, I will take you through all the steps in full and in real time. If you're there live, I will answer questions. If you do it on replay in your own time, and you have questions, I probably won't be there when you do it because I won't know you're doing it. But you can always message me if you had any questions that didn't get asked during the live, or send me a screenshot if you're not happy with something and I can give you some suggestions. So I will be available after the fact as well. You guys, even if you do it on replay, you're not totally out there on your own. I can be reached to follow up and help you. I'm not seeing any comments, so I changed the settings on my do not disturb thing on the phone, so I was hoping to not get phone calls and messages during this. Oh, I got a tickle. Sorry. And so I don't know if the settings that I changed are keeping me from seeing you as well. I hope that's not the case. If it is, I'll go back afterwards and read all the comments and respond. So if you're talking to me and I'm not seeing you, I do apologize. Or maybe it's just delayed and it will come along shortly. Facebook is very busy this time of year. I am a hairdresser by day, and I get a lot of phone calls anyways, and then of course with being the holidays and people's schedules changing or getting sick or whatever the case may be, they forgot to make an appointment, I don't know. I get a lot of calls, so that's why I'm trying out this do not disturb on the phone to see how we do. Okay, so you get the idea on that. I definitely would go through and do quite a bit more with that, but I'm not gonna do that right now, you guys, so I don't hold you up forever on it. And I'm not even going to wait for that to dry because I'm going to go ahead and put in a Christmas tree, and it's not going to matter if it gets white and blue in my Christmas tree. So you guys won't have to listen to the blow dryer for that. I'm going to use a fan brush for my tree today. I think it's fun to use. I don't use it as often as I could, so I'm just going to dab a little in the black, dab a little in the green. I'm going to go with a blend. And I'm just gonna go right up here on the side of my brush here at the top. And I'm just doing a Z pattern. You can make your tree as fat or as skinny or whatever tree you like to see. But using this as a pretty simple way to do a tree. So if you have one of these brushes and you don't use it very often, get it out and try it for a Christmas tree. You might be pleasantly surprised. I'm just getting wider as I go to the bottom. Pretty basic on that. We got a good start going there. I'm going to dab into the blue and the green. Come back in here. Make that middle a little darker, a little variation of color in it. We're going to go back and put snow on this tree as well, you guys, so. This would be really pretty. My friend Christy does her gift bags. She paints them. Something like this would be really pretty on a gift bag or on a Christmas card if you guys make your own cards. You really can paint on just about anything. If you feel like you got too blended in the center, just grab your black and go back in and just touch. Like I said, we're going to go back with snow, so I don't get too concerned with it. But it does need to dry before we go back in with the snow, so we'll let that dry. Wash off our brush. We'll need that for the snow, so we want it to be washed and just wipe it off on a paper towel or a rag or something so it can dry out a little bit. While that's drying, I'm going to grab into the white and we'll just start down here. Might need a couple of coats of your white. Depends on how thick your paint is or is not, depending on what you're using. And I'm just doing an arced motion. Using that same brush I used to do the swirls in the background, you guys. Told you I was going to use all the brushes today, but I do tend to go back to whatever I'm using over and over a bit. So, I'm not even going to let that dry too much. I'm going to take my white and mix with just a smidge of blue to get a nice light blue. I'm going to go ahead and put some of that in there. And I will go back over it with some more white, but what that's doing is making a shadow to kind of give some shape to my snow down here. It's reflecting the sky. I do want to reflect the tree a little bit into it. So I'm going to take the white and we'll take just a touch of that green. It's a little too minty. I got hot glue on my plate, you guys. It's like I need to gonna have to give up this plate at some point. It's a little too minty. I'm gonna add just a touch of blue to it. Go with more of a blue-green in my reflection, which would probably be more true with the sky being blue anyways, so. It'd be better if I wasn't mixing in hot glue though. Okay. I'm just gonna I don't know if you can see that on there. Yeah, you can see it. I'm just kind of scratching in a little bit. I'm going to go back and grab some more white. Blend those edges while they're still wet. Just basic. When we go back in and do some more white and blue, we'll blend that even a little bit more. But I'm going to wet my brush. It's a little dry and draggy. The wood stove going. I think it's like 80 degrees in here, so things are drying really fast. There we go. So you can see just a reflection. We'll go back and do some more. You know, it is pretty dry. I think we'll go ahead and do some more white right now while we're at it. Find a fairly clean spot on my plate. I'm going to wash the green out of this brush. I'll use the same brush. Dry it on a paper towel or a rag. There we go. And I'm just gonna, I want to make sure when I'm doing this I'm leaving some of that blue to give me my lights and my darks. Give some depth to my snow. Green's still pretty wet. I just tapped into that green a little bit, guys. I'm just blending this a little bit more. Ah! I think there was black in that. All right, we'll let that dry and come back. There we go. Oh, comments are starting to pop up and I have missed some or something, I'm not really sure. It's about Lancaster, the snowy winter. That could be. All right, so my tree is not quite dry, but I think we'll just go for it anyways. Again, I'm going to use the fan brush again, you guys, for this. I'm going to tap into my white. You want to make sure you leave that dark underneath. So don't get so wide with it that you cover your whole branch. You still want to see the branch. You want the snow to just be on the branch. And you can do as much or as little snow as makes your heart happy. So I'm getting into this wet paint down here. It's getting a little bit darker, so we can always go back and add more white layers after the fact. You find with the snow, if you think about it too hard, you try to figure it out too much, it's not good. It's really better just to enjoy the process and go with the motion. You can always go back and put more blue or green or black or whatever color you did on your tree. You can go back and put more in. But, so don't stress. It's just paint. You paint right over it again if you need to. There, that's pretty good. Let's wash that off. Put some stars in the sky, I think. Like I said, I'm just doing whimsical play today, so I need to wet this down. So I'm going to take my white, just put some water, roll off my brush. We'll see how this works with how wet this is up here, right? Not bad. If you're not comfortable doing this with a paintbrush, you could always do it with a marker or a paint pen, something like that. Easy enough, right? I'm just doing some lines. Just adding a little whimsy to my sky. The background's pretty forgiving, so you could always go back over with a little blue and white if you really felt like you messed it up. But honestly, you guys, if you're doing a whimsical painting, just enjoy the process and go with it. It looks more natural and handmade if you have some fat spots and some skinny spots and some different spots. So just enjoy it. Put them wherever you feel like you have a space. You can see I went right over some of my spots where I already had the white dots and just kind of put them out there. And I might even go back afterwards and do something like this with them, just to give you an idea. Right? Just to have fun with it. And again, I'm just using the end of my paintbrush. You could use, if you want a really small dot, you could use a pencil, tip of a pencil, or a tip of a nail, something like that. Depends on what you're going for. I said I was going to do it afterwards, and here I sit doing dots again. You guys, I could do dots for days. All right, I'm going to stop, I promise. Oh dear, what are you going to do? Here we go. My bottom has dried at all here. We could do that again. Let's see. Just grab another brush. See if I can. I might have to go back and fill this in later, you guys. It's pretty wet. And I wanted to do one more thing on this, so I kind of need it to dry. I'm going to apologize right now. I'm going to blow dry it for just a second, guys. Hang on. Sorry about that. I'm going to tap a little bit of green back into this one that got a little bit carried away with my white. And this time I did not mix my green, so it's a whole nother shade. So I'm just going to go ahead, if you do that, just go ahead and blend it through. You grab a new shade. Your eye likes to see repeating color. Bring it along. Here we go. Better. Oh, hi, Megan. I don't even think I said hi to, I think it was Christine, and I can't see who the other one was that was on. Just doing a little paint therapy this morning. Is it dry enough? I think it's dry enough. I'm going to try to put a little more white on here. My white is not being cooperative today. Oh, and the black again. Apparently I'm just bound and determined to have dirty snow. That's the way it's going to be today. And that's the way it is at my house, so I shouldn't be surprised. I'm going to tap back into that blue-green that I used for the reflection. Go ahead and put that back. And I'm going to tap into a little blue and white. And do a little shading. Here we go. Just blend that out a little. Blend all your edges together a little. Nothing too crazy. There. I feel better about that already. Excuse me. And so, I think for the final piece de resistance, and I'm in France, I'll tell you guys. Do you guys get a little squirrely right before the holidays? We've been having some holiday fun. Last weekend we did Christmas with the grandson, or weekend before last. This past weekend we did my sister's birthday and Christmas with the kiddos. And next weekend we're going to do a granddaughter's birthday. And then, of course, Christmas Eve we do a big family gathering. And then Christmas Day we do a immediate family gathering. So I'm trying to, I got the house vacuumed this morning. I got to go get some groceries and do the cleaning and stuff, and I have not finished shopping. How many of you guys have finished your shopping? That's a good thing. That's a good question. So what I'm going to do now, you guys, I'm going to get my ruler all wet doing it this way, but I'm going to do it anyways, is just kind of give myself a guide here. Let me see. Yeah, that'll work. I'm just going to use the width of my ruler. See, we did all this work on the background and I'm now covering it up. That's the way it goes. Oops. Come back here. I'm just using chalk because when I paint, it'll disappear. And if it doesn't disappear, it will dry and disappear. So I might regret having those quite so wide. I might not do them quite that wide, you guys. We'll see. Because it seems like a lot. A lot. So what I'm going to do instead is just find a flat brush here if I can. There's one. And I'll use the width of the brush. I'm going to use blue and a touch of black to make a nice dark blue-black. Yeah, the width of this brush is almost as wide as my All right, straighten up our edges here a little bit. Yes, giddy about Christmas. Oh, good. I'm glad. I am too. I'm excited, even though all the things aren't done and that. I don't know. We always seem to make it work. So it'll work out. We're actually planning, we're not doing ugly sweaters, we're planning an ugly t-shirt craft with the kids at the Christmas Eve party. And we're not even sure how we're going to pull this off, but the idea is they're all going to make their own ugly Christmas t-shirts. So we're gathering up a bunch of random items and trying to figure out how they're going to adhere them to the t-shirts. They're kind of too young to use hot glue, but I mean, there'll be adults there to help them. So that's a possible. I gotta clean this, you guys. That's a possible option. My other thought was getting like those Velcro where they stick. I mean, it's not like they're just gonna have them for that night. They're not gonna wash them and wear them again, kind of thing. They're just gonna, it's just to have something fun to do and different to do, and I don't know. Usually when we've had our Christmas parties in the past, we've always had them at somebody's house. And so the kids often go in the other room, entertain themselves, do their own thing. But we're having it at a community center this year. And so it's one big open room. And so we want to make sure we have stuff for them to do. It can get pretty loud with everybody. And yeah. So we just want to make sure we have a plan to keep them busy and not get too bored. You see where I'm going with this, right, guys? I didn't even say, right? You know what I'm doing. There we go. After you do your, it's a window, in case you can't tell. After you do your window and it dries and we take the chalk off it, you could certainly go back and put some frost in your window, and I think I am going to do that as well. It is a little bit smaller of a brush probably. This might be too small. Let me see. Told you I was using all the brushes today, so yeah, let's just try one of these little flat brushes here. I'm gonna just tap it off, just kind of like you're stenciling, and do just some dabbing. If you get too far onto your windowsill, of course, I don't know. If your windows are kind of leaky, sometimes it does get onto our windowsills. But if you get too far onto your windowsill, just go back with that blue-gray and straighten up your lines. So don't stress about that too much. But it is a winter scene, so if you're doing this on something that doesn't bounce around, you have to hold it down like I do, but so I'm just dabbing, you guys, to make a little frost in my windows. I want some at the top. I don't really want it on my Christmas tree. We'll just put a little. This window's not as bad, right? I don't think I can do anything just a little. Oh, oh well. So when that dries, you guys, I'll go back with the black and just straighten up those lines. But if I do it right now, it's just going to smear. See, I got into the black there a little bit. It was wet. So let your paintings dry or blow dry them or go back and fix them. You've got options. So when that finishes drying, I'll go back and do a second coat. Everything will get a few more coats once she gets a little drier. So there we go. When I get her finished, I will come back and post a picture, but there's just an idea of something fun. So anyways, thank you for popping in, saying hello, joining me for the painting today. I will post a picture later when I get it finished up. Hope you enjoyed it, had fun, and if you are so inclined, join me for my No Drama Llama on the 28th. I would love to see you guys there. All right. Everybody, you guys have a great Monday. So pretty. I think I may try this. Okay with you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please try it and post a picture in the comments or send it to me in private messenger if you do it. I love, love, love seeing you guys' work. So yeah, definitely do it and let me see a copy when you get done with what you do with yours. I think that's wonderful. All right. Thank you, Christine, and thank you, everybody else. And I'll see you soon. Happy Monday.